This episode is brought to you by the world's first reposado from Tequila Herradura. Made with slow-cooked, hand-harvested agave sealed into oak barrels and aged 11 months. Before being enjoyed in your glass. Experience the world's first reposado. Tequila Herradura. Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Tequila Herradura. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Brown-Forman, Louisville, Kentucky. Herradura is a registered trademark. Copyright 2025 Brown-Forman Corporation.
Are you ready to dairy-free your mind? This summer, melt away your dairy-free expectations with So Delicious dairy-free frozen desserts. Enjoy mind-blowing flavors like salted caramel cluster, chocolate cookies and cream, cookie dough, and more. For over 35 years, So Delicious has been cranking up the flavor with show-stopping products that are 100% dairy-free, certified vegan by Vegan Action, and are so unbelievably creamy, your taste buds will do a double take. Dairy-free your mind. Visit SoDeliciousDairyFree.com.
Are you feeling more fulfilled now that you're back to work?
On August 15th.
No. I need a vacation.
See the movie that critics are saying is an awesome,
Look at that.
crowd-pleasing, fist-pumping, all-out brawl of a film.
You're right about that.
They're coming after our family. Go fix this.
Oh, my.
Nobody 2. Rated R. Only in theaters August 15th.
Abercrombie's viral denim sale is back, and Spotify listeners get an extra 15% off with code SPOTIFYAF. Abercrombie is known for their denim. With 30 to 50% off all jeans, find out how denim should fit. Shop the viral denim sale in the Abercrombie app, online, or in stores. Valid in stores and online through August 11th, 2025 in U.S. and Canada. Excludes clearance, price reflects discount. Code valid in U.S. and Canada through August 11th, 2025. Exclusions apply. See details online.
Welcome back to Skating Penguin Network, everyone. It is Robbie here again, as always, with a new episode coming at you. We are recording on the evening of August the 5th. We are, as we talked about last time, in the dredges of the hockey offseason. But we're going to find some stuff to talk about tonight to catch up with everyone here. But before we dive into anything, I'm going to once again, as always, introduce Snail, who is fighting off the effects of just eating a raw jalapeno. He has been chugging water since he joined the room here. So, Snail, how are things on your side of the country?
Yeah, I got a hot one in the batch of jalapenos. I just bit into one. I had a quesadilla and had a little jalapeno on the side. And yeah, I can't feel my tongue right now. And I listen, I love heat. Well, we were just talking before we hopped on here. I love jalapenos. I love spice in general. There's a misconception, though, is like, because this will happen, like, I'm not going to say it's a party trick by any means, but like when I go out to eat, sometimes, like if I'm at a Mexican restaurant or something, I'm like, yeah, can I get a couple of grilled jalapenos just on the side? And I'll bite into one, and it might be really hot, and I'll be, I'll get the hiccups, or I'll be sweating, or whatever, and people are like, oh, I thought you liked sweat. Yeah, I thought you liked spice. It's like, yeah, I like the pain. I like the spice. It doesn't mean that I'm immune to it. You know what I'm saying, Robbie?
Yeah.
You can like spice, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you. You just like the little. It gives me like some endorphins. It gives me like a little.
I mean, I hate bland food.
Right.
I need some taste. I know that us whites get a bad rap for not seasoning the food, but I hate bland food. I'd rather something be too spicy than bland, I think.
For sure.
I don't like overpowering spice to the point where I'm sweating and tears are running down my face.
Right.
But I just can't. You got to at least give me some salt and pepper. I mean, no, that's like the basis, the
bare minimum.
The bare minimum, but I'm not a fan of just bland food. Now, on stuff like steaks and stuff, if it's a good steak, I don't need much. Because the steak itself is flavorful, but man, a good chicken or burger, give me some additives to that. Like I like a good jalapeno cheddar burger. But even like I know you eat a lot of tofu. I'm assuming that most of the tofu you eat has some kind of flavoring or seasoning, and it's not just a hunk of tofu most of the time.
No, it's always seasoned up in some way or another, whether it's like been marinating in like a marinade that you make, or like it's in a soup, it's in a like I don't know, or like
it has
even
something.
Just soy sauce at least,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, like you said, salt and pepper. Yeah, you got to get a little sodium on like protein, just
And
because
you
it's
can
like
you can bake tofu, right? Like you can
oh
get it.
yeah,
Yeah, tofu's it's pretty pretty flexible when it comes to what you can do with it. So yeah, you got. I can't just eat bland food. I feel like I'm just wasting calories. Like if you're gonna give me, if I'm gonna take in some calories, I want to make it worthwhile, make it taste good for me.
yeah, and you're definitely beating like the like classic like Midwest like white person allegations with how the way that
Yeah.
they season food. Like
Yeah.
so you always hear like, oh yeah, like their mayonnaise is like is spicy to them, or
Yeah.
like pepper's spicy. Like
Yeah.
my grandmother's like that. Like my grandma, she has the palate of like the Pilgrims. Like I
Yeah.
think that like pepper for her is like way
Yeah.
too hot, and like ketchup is like just the right amount of zest. So you're beating those allegations for sure. I'd be curious, Garrett kind of strikes me as that. Like he has like the palate of a pilgrim.
Garrett's going to come on and defend himself from those accusations, but I will say I won't make a direct accusation, but I can see some of where you're coming from on that angle. So Garrett, if you have to come on and defend yourself, please do so. One thing I wanted to mention, our good friend who's been on the podcast before, CJ Gamble.
Mm-hmm.
CJ, Pittsburgh guy, white, obviously, if
white.
you watch that episode. But he lives in Thailand, and out there, that food is kicking it up a notch. If you get really good Thai food. Yeah, Thai food can be a different animal. I had Thai food one time. I don't even... we were it's when I was in Europe studying abroad. It just over there, just again, everything's a little bit fresher and stuff like that. We tried like a legit Thai restaurant, dude. We were like, they don't really believe in tap water over there, and we were telling the waiter, like, just bring us a picture of something. This food was legitimately like kick you in the mouth spicy. Like it packed a punch.
Dude, Thai food, like people think like, Mexican food like gives you like that's spicy, or like Indian food. Thai spice can do some damage, Robbie. Like Thai spice and flavor, that's like Thai food is so simple. There's usually only like 3 or 4 ingredients in the whole thing, but their seasonings, like I think they use like lemongrass, they use saffron, whatever it is that they're using to make the spice over there. Dude, I can tell you a story. So I one summer I was staying in Portland. I stayed in Portland for about 3 months. Rented a room at a house, and one of my good buddies came down and he stayed the weekend with me. And we just had a time ripping it up. And in Portland, they're notorious for their food trucks. I don't know if you've heard that before.
I do. I feel like there's a lot of cities like Seattle, Portland, out in the West Coast that, again, food trucks are, even in my small city, like are more popular now than they ever been. But yeah, Portland just reminds me of like, dude, you're probably just walking down the street and there's probably just like food trucks all over the place all the time.
Well, they are. And you know what they have there too is like, they have food trucks everywhere for convenient food, and it's all really good food and a wider range of food. But they have these little areas where they like basically someone owns a little piece of property and they put a fence around it, and then people park food trucks permanently just in these little spaces. So you have like, it's almost like a mall food court, but it's just food trucks.
Actual good food.
Yeah, amazing food. Yeah. So anyways, there's food trucks everywhere. One night, I kid you not, we were coming back from a strip club, and there was a Thai. It's one of the best Thai food trucks in Portland. Like, it's highly renowned. It's almost like a meme. It's like, it's in the parking lot of a strip club, and the line was very long. And we get in line, and I'd hit it up a couple of times, so I knew what to get. And my buddy likes spice too, but he's a definitely on the paler side when it comes to spice and stuff. A little bit goes a lot further with him. But we'd had some beers, whatever, trying to get some food before we go to bed. Level 5, Masa Man. I don't know how to say that, curry. And there's only 5 levels to this spice, and I go right to the top. But I was like, dude, you got to get it. So we both get our curries. We get home, we're watching like, I don't know, we probably throw on like Seinfeld or something, and we're sitting there. Actually, no, you know what we did? We watched a skate video, I think, and then we were eating this food, and I'm fine. I'm sweating. I'm like, ooh, yeah, this has got me feeling good. My buddy's not really saying a whole lot. And then, because I was renting a room, he just had a sleeping pad on the floor, and I'm sleeping in the bed. And then, you know, we pass out, whatever. And then multiple times through the night, I just kept hearing the door close. And I'm like, what is going on? And, like, you know, the sun's not even up. Boom. The door closes again. I hear the toilet flush.
Oh,
boom.
boy.
I hear the door close. Boom. Toilet flushes. It's about 5 a.m. now. I remember because my the person that I was renting from lived in the house as well. I was renting a room there, and she told me, she was like, yeah, like, she gets up at the crack of dawn, and she had run into him. And next thing you know, I hear him leave again. I hear the shower turn on, and I was like, oh. He was in trouble, and he comes back into the room, and I had a Keurig in there, and I'm firing up some coffee, and I'm like, hey man, like, you want some coffee? And he was like, man, there is nothing left in me for coffee to kick out. I am miserable. I need to find a way to go back to sleep. I just had to shower off because of this. He's like, what did you feed me last night? I was like, that level 5 curry, man. Like,
so he was like having the curry sweats.
Oh, like the curry sweats, the curry runs. Like, I think it was just a 5-alarm fire in my friend's system, and it was just eject everything.
It would just full on evacuating. Yeah,
it was basically just evacuate everything. And I remember for the rest of that day, it was like he was a bit timid, a bit tender. Everything we kind of did was kind of like, ooh, careful what you put into that. Like, just the cinders that are in your. Are your intestines right now. So I know, dude, when you were saying when you went over to Europe and you had some Thai food, that is some food where if you're not super sure about the scale of spice, I mean, you can end up, you know, you're doing a 4 a.m. shower that next morning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it being quite like the repercussions being like that, but you just know that your friend, like, he knew it was coming too. Like, he was just really quiet, hoping that, like, it would pass. But dude, when you're waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and they're just hitting the eject button on your colon, you know that you know, one, the food is probably good. Two, it's just, you're not used to that level of spice. Like, the people over in the native Thai people, like, that's just a normal everyday meal for them. They don't get that kind of stomach ailment. Over here in America, man, you take that once, that level 5 curry, and that's basically an enema. Is basically what you're taking. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I mean, a few times to the restroom, and then you hear someone turn the shower on. You know that things.
The shower's like, if you're in such a predicament where you have to, like, shower to just wash off all that. I mean, I get it. I get what your friend was going through.
Yeah.
So
I think we've all been there, like, in some manner.
It's not necessarily because of Thai food. We've all definitely had one of those moments where just, like, you're laying down and, like, you're trying to go to sleep, and you get that feeling, and you're just hoping you can sleep and let it pass, and then you're jolted awake, you're sweaty, it's uncomfortable, and you're just you're running a marathon back and forth in the bathroom, and it's.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Miserable. And so that's like, talk about, like, intense spice. There's intense food. Definitely, like, one of my favorite types of food to get, and that's just like the jalapeno I just had is like nothing compared to that. Like, that's like, you know, it's already gone for me now, but anyways, man, I've always wanted to tell that story on here, and I've never found the right time to do it, and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah, that's a really good story. But before we do move forward, we do need to get CJ back on the podcast, because I don't want to spoil it. CJ, if you follow him on Instagram, I know we pushed that the last time he was on here. Some big news involving his skate company and Nike. So I don't want to spoil it too much, but we got to get him on here, especially before the season starts, so we can talk about the season and the one that was, and get some updates on his company, because he had some big news come out
he did.
that I'm sure he'd want to share. But Snell, you were talking last night. You're playing roller hockey this
I am
summer.
playing roller hockey.
You got a number for your team, and you kind of had some hot takes you wanted to roll over. So I'll toss it over to you here for a bit, and you can get the ball rolling on this.
Yeah, sure. So this is I wanted to bring this to the pod too. So they're ordering jerseys. You know, the roller hockey that I play, it's kind of, it's like it's not a stick and puck at all. It's like basically a drop in. You know, there's two teams and there's different nights during the week. There's different roller teams. You know, there's kind of like a Thursday night group. There's a Sunday night group. We're the Monday night group. We're the Washington Widgeon. These guys are awesome. It's a great group of guys. I felt really comfortable kind of, you know, getting my feet wet with them last year. And then this year I've been more consistent showing up to these things and basically, yeah, they actually just played they played a tournament up in Everett where the Silvertips play. The ice is all gone, so right now it was their first roller tournament that they hosted in that arena. The guy Chase, who's kind of our captain, he kind of runs the whole thing. Great dude. You know, roller's really not that popular out here. I was gonna say,
wow.
Like, you know, it's really like the hockey shops. I remember even during COVID. I remember going into like Pure Hockey, the hockey stores around here. There was another one called like Lacrosse Wolf, which was like a lacrosse / hockey store. I think that they're gone now. They're out of business.
Insane name for a store.
Insane name. I don't know how they were making money, but
that really surprised me. That like Seattle has a reputation, such an outdoorsy city. Like I know that like hockey hasn't always been like the du jour out there.
No,
but like you think that something like that, where I mean, it's a hotbed for skateboarding, that they would figure out. I'm sure there was people that always rollerbladed outside throughout Seattle and the surrounding area. That even though hockey wasn't necessarily like the 1A sport out there, that it didn't catch on in some way, given how outdoorsy Seattle tends to be.
This is how embarrassing it is out here. I mean, we've had the Silvertips for I think since 2002. And then we've had the Thunderbirds forever. They have a long history going back to the Totems and the Breakers and the West Coast Hockey League and whatever. So, you know what's really popular out here? We have 2 outdoor roller rinks, hockey rinks. Sorry, we have 2 of them. They're right next to each other at Judkins Park. You know what's really popular here? Bike polo. Have you ever heard of bike polo?
Is it like horse polo except on bikes?
On like fixed gear bikes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They have their own nets. They have their own leagues, and those guys are militant, man. Like, you better not be on their court for their allotted hours.
Oh,
that is really popular here.
Well, do they play on the hockey rinks?
Yes, they do.
That's so wild.
And they have different nets. Like, we have to pull the bike polo nets off when we get to the rink to put the hockey ones on.
What's a bike polo net look like?
It basically looks like it's basically a hockey net that is this like maybe a little bit wider. It looks like a mini soccer net. Like it's the same shape as a soccer net, but it's like maybe like sternum, like chest high.
Oh, okay.
Maybe so a little bit shorter.
Much shorter.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I didn't play in the tournament that was up there. They had a 16-man roster. I was invited to be a free agent where teams that needed a sub, you'd be able to play with another team, but I ended up doing my own thing that weekend. But they're ordering jerseys for some of the people that I think they did jerseys like a year ago, and they're doing another round of them. And so I get to pick my number. And I was going the Sid route, not picking 87, but I was going, my birthday is September 29th, 1991. So, and you're September 28th, right?
30th.
Or 30th, that's right. I know we're close.
Yeah.
So I was going to either pick 9, 29, or 91. I guess I could pick 19 too, but 9 was taken. 29 is kind of a goalie number. I would have taken it if there was no other option. Nate McKinnon, number 29, good friend of Sid. And then I wanted 91 though. I kind of think 91, it's kind of a sick looking number. I'm thinking, Fedorov, Tavares, Kadri, there's some great numbers, and we'll get into that in a second. But someone who had quit the team a year ago had 91. He had to ask for permission if I could get it, and he hit me up last night. Boom, 91 is yours. So I'm thinking about 91. I'm going through my head, and I'm like, man, I'm not the most skilled guy out there. My boots definitely need a lot of work, but I can get around. But it's not pretty. It's not great.
Yeah.
I do have a good shot. I know that I can really rifle the puck, and I've got some decent hands. But I was like, man, 91, like that's kind of a skill guy number. Who do you associate when you think of 91? Who's the first player that comes to your head when you see 91 on a hockey jersey?
91 on a hockey jersey, like you said, Fedorov sticks out.
Yeah.
Tavares, I guess Tavares is 91. I just don't I think Fedorov is obviously he was the 91. That Red Wings uniform sticks out pretty substantially. Nobody in the Penguins that I can think of off the top of my head. Kessel was 81.
Shatan was 81.
Shatan, Malkin, Crosby are 87 and 71. Nobody else. Fedorov's like the big name.
Fedorov is the big name. That's the guy, I think.
Yeah.
And so I was actually talking with my buddy about it, and he was like, dude, I don't think anyone should wear 91. I think 91 should be retired. And I was like, man, did I do it? Is this like when Josh Hosang picked number 66 with that one year for the Islanders?
Oh man, that was such a funny thing in Pittsburgh. Like, there was like 5 people that are actually mad about it, but like it conflated to like such a high, because it's when the Penguins fans were obviously like at the peak of everybody hating them because of Crosby and stuff. But I do remember when he did that, and people like, it was like 5 people on Twitter that were like genuinely angry about it, and everybody else was just kind of like, "Oh, it's stupid. Have respect for the game." Blah blah blah. And it blew over in like a week, if that. I don't even know if he ever played in Pittsburgh with 66. If he ever was actually on an Islanders team that played in Pittsburgh while wearing that number.
Remember, he didn't really have like the best. Like,
no, he was like a highly touted prospect though. Like, people thought he was going to be something, and he just never was able to stick in the NHL. And he came into the league. Like I said, he might have been a first-round draft pick even.
He was.
Yeah, and he broke into the league, and he was in the league young too. Like, he didn't take long to make the NHL, and yeah, it just never worked out for him. But he was that's what kind of, like, it wasn't just some plug that wore 66, because there was a kid for Calgary for a short while that was like a bottom 6 guy that wore 66 too, and I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I'll have to try to look it up here while we're talking, but Josh Hosang was a huge. I just remember when it came out that he was wearing 66, and like, it wasn't like a dude from the Penguin system came up and was like, "Yo, can I get 66? I've worn it my whole career." Like,
totally.
It was just like, it was just something stupid that Penguins fans got annoyed about. 5 people were like really angry about it, which was kind of turned into everybody else. But it was. I do remember when Josh Hosang showed up and started wearing number 66 for the Islanders. I do distinctly remember that. Yeah,
and do you remember even Lemieux commented on it? Like, someone actually got to Lemieux, and he was like, "It's just a number."
Yeah, I do remember that as well. He was just like, "Okay, that's fine." Like, yeah.
I mean, do you remember Donald Brashear wore 87?
Oh, it was TJ Brody. Okay.
TJ Brody?
Just briefly.
Just for a sec.
Just for a handful of games, like not even half a season.
Dang.
He wore 66, and that was really the last of the last person that did. Yeah.
So I have a list here. I actually I managed to pull up here. I should have had this before we started talking about this, but players that wear 99, Nazem Kadri, 91, sorry. Nazem Kadri, Evander Kane, Tyler Seguin, Vladimir Tarasenko, John Tavares, Steven Stamkos, and Sergei Fedorov. I don't know if there has to be other players who have worn it in the NHL. Did Paul Coffey wear 91 at one point? Or was he always 77?
I have it up here. Let me check real quick.
This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Life gets easier with great assists, and State Farm is here to dish one your way. Get in touch over the phone or on the app to get the teammate you need. State Farm with the assist. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability and eligibility vary by state.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
I am not seeing coffee listed here. OEK had a cup of coffee with it when he played for the Panthers. Anthony Duclair wore 91 at one point. Mike Comrie was 91. Leo Carlson for the Anaheim Ducks currently wears 91. Beauvillier wore 91 in Chicago before he came to Pittsburgh. Mark Savard was 91.
Mark Savard was 91. That's right.
Sagan. Did you say
Tyler Sagan?
Stammer.
Stamkos.
Seattle legend Daniel Sprong. Brad Richards was 91.
See, I might be the Daniel Sprong of this team because I can shoot and I can get the puck off my stick quick, and I've got pretty good passing and all that.
Did you say Kane?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've got fourth line boots. Like the guy was our guy Chase was joking with me. He's like, we'll put you on like the third line or fourth line, but you just get to we'll put you with a center who can get it to you, and then you're just like Ovi in the office. Just get it on net. Anyways,
should have been great. Should have been a great one. Alexander Daigle.
Wasn't he the first overall bust?
He was the first overall bust with Ottawa. Yeah, he wore 91.
Didn't Pronger go 2?
I'd have to look.
Or am I thinking of a different draft? But I think it was Pronger.
93. Oh, hold on.
I just know that
Daigle. Daigle went 1. Pronger went 2. Korea went 4. Arnott went 7. Tebow went 10. Just kind of going through to see Jason Allison was in the
Ottawa.
Saku went 21. Todd Bertuzzi went 23.
Dude, Todd Bertuzzi played like 1,600 games in the NHL or something crazy like that.
He was something insane, and he was suspended for like half of them. No, he played 1,200 games.
Oh, is that it?
But still, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of hockey games, yeah.
And he didn't play like a dainty style of hockey.
No. Ask Steve Moore.
Yeah. But anyway, so back to my thing. There's a lot of great players that wear 91.
Yep.
Where do you my hot take, or I think I'm going to use it as my buddy's hot take. Do you think that Fedorov's number 91 should be retired? Also, when we get CJ back on, we got to talk about this, but we touched on it briefly. Fedorov might be like the steeziest or like the most stylish, like the way he wore his gear, like maybe the flashiest steez. I don't, dude. My gitches. I tried to rock the floppy tongues for a bit. Now I tuck them into my shin guards.
Okay.
I have a visor, or I have a helmet with no visor, but I have ear guards in still. So my buddy jokes with me. He's like, "Cool, you can go blind, but at least you could hear." I don't know. This Fedorov was probably one of the most flashy stylists. I mean, you could even argue Gretzky had, for everything he was, like Fedorov just looked like, he was modeling for all the companies that he wore, like the Nike boots and whatever else. Like, but where are you at with 91 potentially being a number that should have been retired? I mean, was he the greatest to wear 91? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, of 91, going through that list, he's definitely probably the greatest. I mean, I think, just looking over it real quick, he's the only Hall of Famer to wear 91, at least as of right now. I don't see Stamkos will be in the Hall of Fame, so that'll be number 2 there. Tavares probably has a Hall of Fame case in the end. That'll be number 3. But, I mean, Fedorov, like, I mean, the shield, the tinted shield, he was Ovechkin like style before Ovechkin. Like, I'm sure if you ask Ovechkin, a lot of his style on the ice is directly related to how Fedorov wore. I mean, you had the like you said, the tongues on the skates. Ovechkin had the tongues on the skates, the yellow laces. Now we know that Fedorov had the white Nike skates. But if you look back, you had the tinted visor, which Ovechkin's worn his entire career. Fedorov had a tinted visor. They played together in Washington too. So like,
I forget about that sometimes.
If you remember, that was one of Fedorov's last stops. Might have been his last stop. Was in Washington at the end of his career. But no, I think that Fedorov, as for retiring his number across the board, I think that list that you looked at, was he listed as, no, he was number 2 behind Ovechkin on that greatest Russians list, I think, or he might have been even 3.
He was 3, I think, or I'd have to pull that up. People are still like, I still get
it's like 3 weeks ago.
2 hours ago. Literally 2 hours ago, someone just 946 or 946 plus that 49 likes. 2 hours ago, someone liked that comment. But his list was Ovechkin, that Karlamov that we had to do some research, and then third was Fedorov, and then Datsuk.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot that Fedorov had a cup of coffee in Columbus too.
Dude, oddly enough, when I think of Fedorov, I think of Red Wings, and I think of that weird time he was in Columbus. I forget that he was with the Capitals, too.
He was with most of his career, obviously, in Detroit. Then he went for 3 seasons to Anaheim.
See, I have no recollection of that. That's so weird.
Yeah, he went to Anaheim right the year after they went to the Cup. That first Cup run, he was there, and then he went to Columbus. And then he ended his career in Washington.
That last year, did he play 1 year?
He played about a year and a half. He got traded, I think, at the deadline from Columbus to Washington. And then his final playoff series was that 2009 series. He got one of my great Fedorov memories is if you go back and look at one of those games in 2009, Fleury absolutely robbed him on a backdoor shot that should have been an easy goal. In that series against between the Penguins and Capitals in 2009. But yeah, Fedorov definitely the greatest to wear 91. Stamkos is going to be in that conversation too. Future Hall of Famer in his own right.
Is Stamkos a Hall of Famer?
Oh, I think so. He's going to score well. He's going to probably end up with 700 goals. He's going to have he's going to surpass Fedorov in every statistical category outside of the cups. He has 2 Richard trophies.
The two cups on shortened seasons, but yeah,
I see no way that he doesn't make it. A former first overall pick. He's going to score well. He's probably going to break 700 he'll have over 1,400 points by the time his career is over. There's no way he doesn't make it.
Remember when they said when Marty St. Louis got traded that Stamkos would never... Well, maybe I don't know what they actually said number-wise, but they said that Stamkos wouldn't be the same player, but then little did they know that they had Kucherov just marinating in the OHL.
Yeah, another Russian that we discussed the last time. But no, I think Fedorov, if you want to channel the hands of Fedorov and figure out the skating, I think number 91's a good number.
It'll at least look good.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely will look good. 91 is definitely a number now. It's a more recent number too. There's not, it wasn't one of those that was really worn until later years, because back in the early days of hockey, nobody really went that high numbers.
It was all about the low numbers.
Yeah.
And then I think, and you look in the rafters, which I never have, but I would assume if you looked up into the rafters where the Habs play and where the Red Wing, there's a lot of retired numbers, man, in those couple of buildings, and a lot of them are low.
I'm looking at this list of players that have worn 91, and the earliest I can see is 1981 is the first time it was worn.
That's really not that long. I mean,
no, really, and that was a rarity. It went from 85, and then it skips to the 90s then, and then a few in the 90s, but mostly everything is after 2000 when 91 was worn.
It's that Gretzky effect, man. Everyone's like, well, I'm not going to wear 99, but I'll throw 98 on, 97, 91, 92, 90 even's a good one. There's something about those. And you know what's another good one? I like 81. When I see a player with 81, I kind of think and I'm not saying I'm a skill guy. When I see 91, I think of skill.
Yeah.
I'm not that, though. It's literally just because it's my birth year, and I think it looks good. But for 81 too, I see 81. Don't you think skill guy? You look at, there was Kessel, Shatan in Pittsburgh. The other odd one that wears 81 that doesn't fit for me is that Eric Chernak guy down in Tampa. He's a stay-at-home defenseman, wears 81.
Yeah, Chernak is there, yeah. 81 screams forward to me, obviously.
Forward.
It's
a bold number.
It is. Marian Hossa was 81.
Marian Hossa, 81.
So I think that, 81 is definitely a number that jumps out if you look at some of the guys that have worn it in the past. Like you said, Shatan, Kessel, Hossa, Lars Eller is 81 for a while. Kyle Connor is 81.
Kyle Connor, that's a good one. Skill guy for sure.
I'm trying to see who else here real quick. Marchessault's 81. James Neal wore 81 briefly in St. Louis. That doesn't really count.
That's because Robert Thomas had 18, I think.
Yeah. But 81's another one it has a few of those guys that are skill guys. But there's some numbers there's some of those numbers that are in between the 20s and 40s that if you wear that number, I'm thinking you're a bottom six guy. You're a grinder. Tyler Kennedy was 48.
That's a bottom six guy number for sure.
Seeing Rucker McGroarty skating alongside Sidney Crosby while wearing number 2 is a really weird visual.
Number 2 is actually a number that I was man, if I can't get any of these numbers I want, I was I might rock 2. But someone was telling me that's kind of a goalie number, and I was
I honestly,
I've never seen a goalie with it.
Don't know if goalies I think are usually 1 or
30 to 38.
Yeah, so 30. There might be. I think Ty Conklin might have been 39 in Pittsburgh. Fleury was 29,
True.
Which is 29's a bit even weird for a goalie. But it's 30 to 32, 33 maybe. But anywhere, but it's usually 1 or I think Bobby Lou was 1, right?
He was.
But then Bobrovsky's 50 something?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know what Bobrovsky's number is actually.
Sergei Bobrovsky wears number 72.
Oh, 72. That's a weird one for a goalie.
Yeah, I thought it was 50 for some reason. He was 35 in Philadelphia, and then he switched to 72.
He got drafted. Right? He got drafted by Philly, right?
Yeah.
What, dude? Philly's so. On a side note, Philly's so dumb. They've needed a goaltender for so long, and they had Bobrovsky, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So Robbie, enlighten me. If you could pick a number, what are you picking?
I could pick a number. So growing up, I think I said this a few times on here. One of my favorite players was Kevin Stevens. So I would have tried to have been 25. If I could have had a number. Kevin Stevens, one of my all-time favorite players in hockey. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. My 89 would be my birth year. I don't know how many great 89s there have been. That's a really weird number. For
Alex Tuck, 89.
Tuck is 89. Buffalo. How many do we think there are? There are 26 in history. I'm trying to think who the best here was.
And who else had 89?
Sam Gagner was 89.
Yeah, he was. Edmonton Oiler legend.
Oh, Alexander Mogilny was 89.
Mogilny was 89.
Yeah, so he
Buffalo.
Probably would be.
Man, I'm surprised that Tuck's wearing 89 in Buffalo. Then you'd think that would be retired.
Let's find Alex Tuck here. Yeah, you would think he is retired, but it is.
Hey, that might be a better case than Fedorov. Mogilny in Buffalo. There's no retired jersey. Maybe Buffalo stinks, dude. They can't get their shit together.
Yeah,
not surprised. Why wouldn't Alexander Mogilny's jersey be in the rafters in Buffalo?
That is weird. Like I genuinely don't know why he wouldn't be.
I mean, he's getting into the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I actually would have.
And Tuck's from that area. Where's the respect from Tuck to be like, dude, I'm not going to wear 89 in Buffalo?
The retired numbers are number 2 for Tim Horton, 7 for Rick Martin, 11 for Gilbert Perreault, 14 for Rene Robert, 16 for Pat LaFontaine, 18 for Danny Gare, 30 for Ryan Miller, and 39 for Dominic Hasek.
Okay, if they have Miller's number retired in Buffalo, why would Mogilny's not be hung in the rafters? Maybe were they waiting for him to get into the Hall of Fame? Because I don't know. That's a little strange to me. That's more of like someone's not happy with the other one type of deal. Because Robbie, that makes no sense.
Yeah, it's and it doesn't look like there's any. I'm trying to look here. It doesn't seem like. Yeah,
no tentative plans for that to happen.
No tentative plans. It's not like.
Are there any Buffalo Sabres fans that have a Reddit thread?
I'm on the NHL's Reddit right now, but it does say Buffalo or Sabres fans. Did Buffalo not retire Mogilny's number? And it's a picture of an Alex Tuck card with the 89 clearly displayed. And the first person that commented says no, and Tuck was his neighbor as a kid and asked to use his number. That's the reason he wears 89.
Okay, see, that clears up my, like, if you're Tuck, why are you wearing that? Like, not like how dare you, but if you were a Sabres fan growing up, wouldn't you kind of be like, I'm not going to take that number from him? But if he's his neighbor, I get it. We'll move on from that. But yeah, like, that is weird that it's not in the rafters.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're like everybody just. And there are no real Sabres fans being like. I mean, some people was like it probably should be retired, but no like outrage that it's not.
I mean, there's so much woe in Buffalo that maybe that's the last thing they want to do is they're like, we just want to see the playoffs again. We don't hang in a rafter. Maybe it's just been so down there for so long that they're like, we got bigger fish to fry.
One person says, and this is just like an opinion, I think the main reason why it hasn't been retired is because Buffalo doesn't think he'd show up to the ceremony.
I wonder why they would think that.
They just said he tries to stay out of the spotlight.
Oh, just a humble guy.
Yeah, there's no real, like, there's bad blood or...
There was a falling out or something?
No, it just pretty much, like... Everybody was kind of like, nope, it's not retired. Going about their day.
Kind of weird. I don't know. That's a strange one, Robbie. This number thing, I think we found something that was really worth digging into. There was like Fedorov's number being like just kind of a faux pas to wear it at this point. This led us into the McGillney conspiracy. Why the hell is that guy's number not retired in Buffalo?
And it doesn't look like there's anywhere that it's retired. And he played for a bunch of different teams. And
most notably a Sabre, though.
I mean, Sabre's the one you see him pictured with the most. He won a cup with the Devils. He played the end of his career in Toronto. A good chunk of his middle career came in Vancouver. I don't know.
That's a head scratcher to me. But
yeah, even Vancouver, he's not retired. It's Bure, Stan Smiley, Trevor Linden, Marcus Naslund, and then the Sedin brothers.
Can you believe that the Penguins could have kept Naslund?
That's a tough one to. Yeah. Every time somebody brings that up, I'm just like,
no,
damn, dude. Like, and again, not keeping Naslund was eventually a domino that led to Sidney Crosby, but
true.
I mean, yeah, crazy that he didn't. There's a bunch of guys. They traded Sergei Zubov for Kevin Hatcher after Zubov had like a point per game season in Pittsburgh.
Was that the infamous one where they thought they were getting the other Hatcher?
No, well, I don't know if that is exactly what it was. I think it was Dallas was being like, "Are we sure they're asking for Kevin Hatcher and not Darian Hatcher?"
Yeah,
they were
that.
Like, "Are we sure that we heard them right?" But they were like, "No, we wanted." He had 66 points in 64 games, Penguins, that year, and they traded him. Yep, and then he went to Dallas and
won a cup.
One of the greatest, all-time great defensemen. Then, yep,
he was there when they won in 2000, right?
He was. Yeah, after he left Pittsburgh, he was
blatantly cheated.
Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, Brett Hall in the crease. Yeah, against Buffalo.
Against Buffalo, that Holy ruined that franchise. Like, I think fully. I mean, they made the playoffs after that season. It wasn't the last time,
they went to an Eastern Conference final with Danny Briere in his prime.
I don't know why they let that guy go either, but
Buffalo. I mean, that's why they're Buffalo, and that's why other teams are other teams, because we know when we got a good thing going.
So, Robbie, quickly before we shift completely off this topic, keeping it on roller really quickly. So, I am curious: is roller a thing out in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, that and deck actually.
So what's the difference?
Deck is it's a material. It's a surface. You could roller on deck. You'd have to wear a mouth guard because your teeth would come loose. Like it's a very rough, because if you were playing on like a smooth surface, you would just slip and slide. Even if it was dry, you'd be flying all over the place. But you have to, like, it's a abrasive surface. Like it's not like falling on concrete, but it's a very firm rubbery surface, and usually it's even kind of like aerated. Like it's not always a solid piece. Depends on it. Some are. It's like if you go to a gym, it's like those mats that they put down in the gym, except more abrasive for
interesting
for traction and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not fun to fall on. I wouldn't recommend falling on it. But roller is it's basically just smooth.
Gotcha. So, but you do have roller out there.
Yeah, we have a mixture of both. Because deck's actually a little bit cheaper and it's easier because, again, rollerblades can be expensive. You don't need as much protective equipment for deck either. There's not as much hitting because you're all on feet.
Do you play with a ball or a puck?
Generally a specialized ball.
A special ball for it? Okay,
yeah, it's not like a tennis ball or anything. It's a ball that like does not have much bounce. It's hollow, but it's more like a rubbery plastic where it hits, it stings, but it's more of a prevented from bouncing. There's no like tennis bounce to it. It's more of a remain on the ground kind of thing. I think there's some places that play with a puck. It depends on the surface you're on.
Yeah.
Because again, pucks with friction and stuff, it doesn't work on every surface. But there are a mixture. But deck, just because deck is more accessible to large groups.
Accessible, like you could throw a deck surface. It sounds like you could have that in like PE in like elementary schools if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, if you didn't want to damage like a hardwood floor, you could easily throw like a roll of deck type down that would cover the floor, and you can play on it very easily.
Okay, so you guys do have roller out there, and like you guys have a richer history with hockey out in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the success that the Penguins have had, you've had Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby. That's going to help grow your sport, exponentially, no matter what. Out here, you know what's weird is our because it's kind of a newer thing. This roller league. The league's not it's not even there's not even really a league. It's more of just like teams, and then they find ways to play each other. It seems like it doesn't. There's no like official league. The powers that be, some of the go-getters in this community, are trying to reach out to the Kraken to help get a rink built that has a because it rains all year here.
Mm-hmm.
Our roller rink out here is just out in the open. It's not covered. The Kraken said they want nothing to do with roller hockey.
Really?
Yeah, they said they didn't want nothing to. The powers that be with the Kraken actually did reach back out and say, you know, we don't really want to associate with roller hockey, but they're all about ball hockey, and I can understand.
Roller doesn't really have like a bad like connotation. Like it's not like it was played by like druggies and criminals. Like roller hockey. I mean, roller hockey at like the beach obviously is huge. What was that documentary that we were on for a while?
The pro beach
hockey, like
that
was
still
wild.
hasn't come out, but like they've dropped like lots of stuff around it, but the actual documentary hasn't even come out yet.
We're
on the waiting list to talk to those guys. Like still, we really are. I've reached out to them.
It's been about over a year now. I mean,
over
that was
a year.
Last summer.
It was,
but no, I mean, you go watch highlights of that. Like roller hockey, when played well, is fast paced.
Very entertaining.
It's very open. I find roller hockey to be rather fun to watch because again, very fast paced, very open. Again, it's a game that really is really friendly to skill hockey players that maybe aren't the best skaters.
Totally.
Like it allows your skilled guys that maybe can't skate great to really flourish, because you can do a lot with on rollerblades, and again, the defenders are generally not the best defenders in the world, so you really have a lot of space to be artistic and fancy and really show off your skills. It's a fun sport to watch.
Yeah, and I'm learning so much since I've been in this community, and I've been learning about, roller is different kind of in each pocket of like probably the world, but especially in the country and just north of the border. Like for example, like roller hockey out in Canada, for example, like right north of the border up in BC, there's a roller hockey shop called Coast to Coast. Shout out to them. They're great. They've been just doing their own thing for a long time, and they've really been inspirational, I think, to especially like our community that's down south just a little ways. They've really helped in kind of showing us the way with roller and that whole thing. But for example, up there, they play with a wiffle ball that you shove a towel in. Like you shove a cloth into it so it deadens the bounce of a wiffle ball. And that's what they play with. And then you look down in like Southern California, like the pro beach hockey stuff, they play with some sort of weird big ball. It's like a big ball that they play with. And they're on those weird, what were they called? Like V-form skates. They have a really interesting rollerblade that they used. And then like our roller community, like out at, it's very, I want to say like kind of more DIY kind of, there's almost like a little bit more of a punk ethos to it. Like if you were to watch it, we play with these green biscuit roller pucks that are actually meant just for like stick handling on concrete. Like it's supposed to help you with your stick handling and puck control. They actually look exactly like, I know you've played air hockey. It looks like two air hockey pucks stuck together with these little loose metal kind of gadgets that keep it loose so you can play on a rough surface, and the center of gravity, it kind of is always wiggling and it keeps it keeps the puck face down. It's an interesting little thing, but we play with those. And then when you play on tiles, you play with the pucks that you've probably seen that have the little nubs on the bottom. The roller, it seems to vary place by place. The roller community I play, for example, it's 4 players and a goaltender. I didn't know that. I thought it was like ice hockey where you've got 2 defenders, 3 forwards, and a goaltender. You have what's called a quarterback, which I call it a rover, but it's a quarterback. That's kind of your roaming D-man.
Yeah.
And then you've got a guy behind the net typically. You've got 2 half-wall guys. So it's kind of a little bit of a different. And some places play 3-on-3. Some places play 5-on-5 like hockey rules. It's such an interesting thing. I really think the whole reason I'm tangenting on this is I know that Pittsburgh, the Penguins, with the success and everything, they probably have a really easy time helping get programs started.
Oh, yeah.
Or, shining a light on a program. You send out, like I've seen Tyler Kennedy, and you throw out Armstrong, Colby, and they'll go and they'll do some lessons at a rink somewhere. Out here, the Kraken don't want to do anything with it, and it just kind of infuriated me, and I wanted to talk about that on here because I'm like, dude, we got the Kraken, and it's awesome to have NHL in the backyard. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. And, I love the Kraken. Like, I love that they're here and everything. I am a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. But just hearing about that, I was just kind of like, you know what, that's lame in my eyes. Why not? You've got so much. You've got Bucco Bucks. And, I think that they're sponsoring a ball hockey program, which great. Out here it's not like out in Pittsburgh. Like I don't even know what deck hockey was. We played floor hockey 1 year in elementary school in PE. It just isn't in the culture out here. But they're starting to become that. Like I have little cousins that are playing hockey they've been playing hockey now from a young age. They're going to grow up and be like, we just played hockey out here in Seattle. He's going to go to college one day, and he's going to be one of the few kids from probably out here that's like, oh, I grew up playing hockey. I just don't understand, the Penguins and other organizations too. Like you look down in like Southern California, the Kings, the Ducks. I don't really know about the Sharks, but I know the Kings and the Ducks have really influenced roller hockey, and they've done some things with other forms of hockey where ice isn't immediately available. And I was just a little bit bummed on the Kraken for that, and I know that this little podcast, this little podcast probably won't get to anybody there, but at some point we'll have CJ back on, and you look at what CJ is able to do in Thailand. They have roller rinks in Thailand. They have they have like the Siam roller league. There's dudes over there that don't even, that's something that baffles me, is that
what's the Thai population like in Seattle?
The Thai population?
Like, is it a huge minority group? Is it? I know, Seattle has a huge Asian
it does
population. I don't know if that's Chinese, Japanese. You have a better idea of what it's like.
It's definitely a thing here for sure. Like growing up, there were people in my schools that spoke Thai, both languages. Like they spoke English and Thai. It's not like it is, I would say, with like Japan and China. Like we've got a lot of those guys over here, and that's not meant to sound bad at all. I'm just saying, like, there is there's a large population here. But just quickly looking here, it says Google AI says that there's about 6,000 to 8,000 Thai people in Seattle. It's not exactly indicative of a large Thai immigration population. Seattle is among the top 10 metropolitan areas in the U.S. with significant Thai population. So kind of contradicting itself there a little bit, but sounds like it's a thing.
Okay.
But you look at what CJ's been able to do over there and what they've got going on over there. I'm like, Thailand is literally, it's tropical Southeast Asia, and they've got these things. Seattle has an NHL team, and we've got executives up there putting the stop sign up, giving the Heisman to some guys trying to start some grassroots stuff over here, and it kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a huge opportunity. The Penguins are they really, in the past, since Crosby came along, really leaned into the deck hockey side of things, built a couple of deck hockey rinks around, especially outside the city, where people can get to them. It's something they've definitely leaned into out here. Again, deck hockey didn't really take off until after the turn of the century anyway, so mostly it was roller or actual ice hockey, but both ice hockey can be financially prohibitive for a lot of people, whereas deck hockey can even just be an introduction to the game. Little kids.
And a good one, too.
Yeah, just getting learn the basics of the game, learn the roles, learn how to shoot the puck, how to handle the puck, how to kind of where to be on the surface, and they've really leaned into that over the past 20 years with Sidney Crosby in town. So, no, definitely a missed opportunity for Seattle, the Kraken, especially given, like I said, how outdoorsy Seattle is, how much just roller-based sports I feel like take place in Seattle, whether it's with the blades, the skates.
Oh, yeah. There's aggressive inline here. Like skate park rollerblading is really big here, too. I mean, I've never participated in it, but all of our indoor skate parks at some point have had like rollerblading nights, and like it's a huge thing here. We've got lots of like lake trails, like these bike paths that go around the lakes out here and stuff, and there's inline rollerbladers on them all the time just for like fitness.
Like, is it rare to see people even just like for exercise skate, like where people go running around these lakes, to be on skates?
No, it's not rare at all.
Yeah,
I live really close to a lake Lake Washington's just a few blocks away from me, and there's this basically a bicycle highway called the Burt Gilman Trail really close to me. And on that trail, anytime that I'm biking on it or down at the lake, there's they have like groups of skaters, like rollerbladers that do it for fitness just to get around the lake.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon at all. So yeah, just kind of weird. I thought that was strange, and I think we got to get CJ back on, because I think that he would be so interested. You know what? I could complain about this to CJ, and I bet CJ could give the Kraken a piece of his mind.
I definitely think that he would definitely agree with you, because his products are, a lot of them are rollerblades. So
we got to talk to him about those products too, because
we got to get CJ back on here before the season, before even later this month, just to catch up and get some update you on his news and stuff like that, because he made some big progress, and his products are really, really nice. And he's in a market that, again, where hockey is foreign, like completely foreign. Like there's no real, at least before like he kind of got on the foundation here, there was no real market for hockey in not just Thailand, but like Southeast Asia. I mean, you don't hear super, like you have the occasional Asian player, Jimmy Pak, that he played for the Penguins from Korea. Like you have the occasional one, but you like Southeast Asia, you never hear pro hockey players coming from there. And what he, like, if you follow him on Instagram, or if anybody, his company, like you see them, like they're at these these roller rinks playing hockey. Like they have actual a national ice hockey team. Like that is all stuff.
And apparently the ice is good. Remember, I wanted to almost be like, "How is the ice out there?" And he's like, "It's fantastic." They have
how hot hot weather does not lend itself to good ice. You need very powerful air conditioning to get good ice. And he did say the ice out there is spectacular. So we definitely need to get him back on here to chat and catch up. And hopefully we can do that sooner rather than later.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully, because I'm telling you, if the way that this summer's going right now, I mean, with the Penguins news, we're going to be talking lots of just random hockey stuff, roller. Maybe who knows what we're going to talk about next podcast, but in case anybody hopped on here to see if there was any Penguins news, the Lemieux and his partner haven't bought the Penguins back. Rust is still a Penguin. Raquel is still a Penguin. Matt Grzelcyk is somehow still unsigned, which, I don't mind if they bring him back, really, but the dude's like a pretty good puck-moving defenseman, and he doesn't have a contract. Is there any Penguins news that you're aware of?
Let me just check the website real quick. Not much. It's mostly just getting to the Penguins had some players at the World Junior Showcase. Harrison Brunnicke was playing alongside the guy that was just drafted #1 overall. You know what I mean?
Schaefer.
Willie Horkoff was there. He apparently had a pretty good showing. Ben Kindle scored a couple goals for Team Canada. I did see that over at the Athletic, they mocked up World Junior lineups.
Oh, I saw that.
They had Will Horkoff making Team USA. They had Harrison Brunnicke making Team Canada. And they had Fernstrom, the guy that came over in the Marcus Pettersson trade, making the Swedish team. So, three at least three there, and that's not to say you never know who's going to have a good enough season to get in that conversation as well. So keep an eye on guys like Kindle as the NHL season or the junior season goes along, because another name that could very well work his way in there with a strong showing. But no, the Penguins did have some of these prospects of these camps, and they were making their name known. So it's nice that Penguins prospects are finally getting invited to these things after years of like maybe a guy would get like a fringe invite, but now you have guys like actually pushing to make these World Junior rosters. And that's going to be something fun to watch this season, especially if the Penguins are bad.
Yeah, which we assume. This is actually something I was thinking about asking you. Let's say, what's the guy's name from The Matrix who hands you the two pills?
The actual actor?
No, is his name Morpheus?
Yeah.
Let's say Morpheus hands you two pills. And he goes, in my left hand, there's a pill, and if you take it, the Penguins will win 30 games, and they will get the first overall pick. In the right hand, you take the pill. Sidney Crosby goes off for like 110 points. The what's his name? God, the kids.
McGroarty
and Koivunen have breakout, just amazing seasons, and that Novak dude is a great third line center. Mm-hmm. The Penguins actually make the playoffs. Yeah. Which one are you taking?
So what was the first pill again?
They win I think I said 30 games, but let's make it less. Let's say they win 20 games and they get the first overall pick.
This is going to sound bad, but I want that first overall pick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because you know what? I think I would do that too.
Again, I just think that, a play okay, they make the playoffs this year. Are they going to be in a position to make any serious threat at a cup run? Probably not. But
I don't know. They got Carlson and Letang and
Gavin McKenna. Much more needs to come from the Penguins for Pill 2 to actually happen.
It's not just lose 20 games and have a good shot at McKenna. It's you get him.
Yeah, if you would give me an option to guarantee that they are picking Gavin McKenna, I'm taking Gavin McKenna, because this is a huge foundation for the next 10, 15 years.
Okay, I have a harder one for you.
Okay.
So, would you rather get a top 3 pick next year?
Okay.
It's not going to be you're not going to get the first overall pick.
Okay, but a top
and you don't have the most miserable season. But let's say the other option is you trade Sidney Crosby and you are guaranteed Gavin McKenna. You are guaranteed Gavin McKenna if you trade Sidney Crosby.
I can't stomach the thought of Sidney Crosby in another uniform. That might be crazy. I'll take a top 3 pick and take my chances of one of those guys, one of the second or third pick, turning out to be a superstar.
Really?
Yeah, I can't.
I would be honestly so curious in a poll, if
I would too.
I would be curious who would be down if the NHL was look, man, I'm not saying we rigged the draft, but let's just say you get Sid to a playoff market, there might be a couple of extra balls in there with a Pittsburgh logo on them.
Just think I mean the thought of of that happening, being you know what, you could get that kind of that's the goodwill. That is your goodwill gesture. You allow Sidney Crosby to be marketed in Colorado. No, Colorado's been annoying, and not Toronto.
Let's
Montreal.
say like
Let's go to
Montreal. Yeah.
Montreal or
Toronto.
No. Well, no. I wouldn't watch the playoffs. Let's just say Dallas for some reason.
Okay.
If that was the
caveat
of goodwill, like, listen, if we trade Crosby and Gary Bettman handshake deal with Mario after he rebuys the team, that they get Gavin McKenna. Like, there's a weighted ball in there that Bill Daly or whoever picks him out of the thing knows that he has to pick that ball. Oh, man, that would suck seeing Crosby in another uniform. Oh, that would suck so bad. I mean, it's a harder decision than the first one, that's for sure.
Yeah, because, see, I don't know. There's part of me that, like, look, Gavin McKenna he's an amazing prospect, but, like, dude, what if he's we talked about Daigle. What if he's Alexander Daigle?
I mean, exactly. Like, Connor Bedard hasn't taken that second step yet either.
Oh, you want to talk about hot takes? I think Connor Bedard's stock, at first I was a little bit like, he's a right winger, I think he's a right winger who's stuck playing center.
Yeah.
I think he's a right winger. He'll be lucky to have a career like, I don't know. We don't have to get into that. I'm not trying to spray shrapnel at Bedard, but that's a great example. Bedard isn't exactly carrying the Blackhawks like they hoped, like Sid did with the Penguins in early in his career. Like, Bedard took a step back last year, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that entire team just completely fell flat in its face, but yeah.
But yeah, Gavin McKenna, I mean, I doubt he'll be Daigle because that was quite a fall off. Like, because that was quite a bust. But like, you're like, what if Gavin McKenna in his like third NHL game gets like trucked through the boards and he has a concussion, is never the same again? Like, I don't know. It's a risk, dude. I would be so curious what our listeners think. Would you sign off on trading Sid to a contender if Bill Daly and Gary Bettman gave you a weighted ball that gave you McKenna? Who signs off on that?
Honestly, I think Sidney Crosby would sign off on it.
You know what? That might be like a weight off his shoulders and goes, okay, I'll leave now, knowing that.
Though just the thought of Paul Bissonnette being right and Brian Hayes being right,
it makes me sick.
That's like that just hit me, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe Gavin Kenna's not worth it.
Maybe
maybe
not.
The thought of them being that happy that they would be on their podcast or shows being, "I told you so," it would make me physically ill. I think
it would make me ill too, because I would want to ignore them and not listen to it, but I would tune in.
It'd be everywhere. You couldn't ignore it.
Oh, imagine if Sid scored like the first game in a different uniform. He scores a goal. People are like, "This is what we've been saying." It's making me almost kind of nauseous right now thinking about it.
I really
so.
dislike it. It's bothered. Yeah, that bothers me again.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen. We'll have to see how the season plays out, but
yeah,
just some fodder for off-season thought,
Yeah, but I got nothing else, man.
I got nothing else too. That was some good. We really created something out of nothing there for an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we head into another week of summer, and hopefully something happens at some point. That we're not just
give
pulling.
Me something.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a third liner just traded from, I don't even care what team. Just like give me something.
I'd go with that. I go with that every day of the week, man.
Well, that's all I got, Robbie.
That's all I got. So yeah, we will talk to you guys soon. Please enjoy this episode. Stick with us. We're getting closer and closer to hockey season every day. So
64 days.
64 days, I believe. 64. It'd probably be 63 by the time you guys listen to this.
60,
maybe less depending on when you listen to it. But we'll get CJ back on to talk hockey at some point. But until then, I'm Robbie. He's Snail. We'll talk to you guys here very soon.